Welcome, everyone, to the Power of Conversation. I'm EVZN. I'm your host of this brand new podcast. And yeah, it's December 2020, December 2nd, actually. And wow, what a year this has been. Actually, it's been quite crazy, I know, for me, and I guarantee for everyone listening right now. It's been a crazy year, but quite frankly, for me, despite quarantine and all that, the craziest part of my year has been that it's been sort of a revelation for this channel, EVZN TV. In the 3-month span of August through October, we did the most views ever that this channel has produced, and we jumped from 260 to 306 subscribers. That's a huge subscriber jump. Proportionally. So that's been a really big deal, and I can't thank y'all enough. It's driven me to expand the product even more for what it is, and that's why I'm here. That's why I've created the Power of Conversation. So, well, how else did I get here, That might be a question that people are having. Well, first off, I'm in a podcasting class at Georgia College, GCSU, and basically I need to create a podcast to do this final exam. So here I am recording this podcast for a final exam. Shout out Chad Whittle, that's my professor. I know if no one else is going to be listening to this podcast or watching this video, I know he will, because I will be getting graded on this. So please give me a good grade. Secondly, I would like to thank the crew over at the Best of 3 podcast. I appeared on their podcast this summer, I believe back in June, and I did an interview with them, and I really enjoyed it, and it opened my eyes to what podcasting can be, and it doesn't have to be just like a true crime podcast or just something that I quite frankly don't find enjoyable. It can be a variety of things, and it can be another realm of creativity, much like videos, music videos, short films. So it's inspired me to create the Power of Conversation. This is going to be a podcast basically where anything kind of goes. Anything that I want to push creatively, anything that I need to say, it'll be right here, the Power of Conversation. But let me talk about some of the segments that we're going to be having on this podcast. Just a recurring segment that will happen will be the Behind the Video. I know I've been pushing that as its own series lately on EVZN TV, but I've decided that this will be, Behind the Video will be moving here to the Power of Conversation, just so it can have some legs of its own, I guess, as well. It's all fine to have it as a YouTube series, but if I'm going to be expanding this product even more, it's probably best to fit it under the same realm. Plus, I'll be able to expand, not just with just the 8 episodes. That was the original plan, just to put out 8 episodes and then call it quits. But it'll also allow me to further elaborate on all the videos I pretty much make. And another recurring segment that will happen, and you will see it today, will be interviews. I did interviews back in 2018 with a few artists, and I enjoyed doing them, but I just kind of got out of it. But after appearing on the Best of 3 podcast and really enjoying the interview that I was in, I was like, well, let me get back into it. And I was thinking, how do I do that? How do I do that to make it more professional than what it was? And here we are today, the Power of Conversation podcast. And there will be other recurring segments that I'll announce at a later time. And there will be recurring co-hosts that will be coming on and off as well. But let me get into today's podcast. Today's podcast features specifically an interview with Christopher Shue of Shue Media. He did an interview for me back in January. We did an interview promo for his page, and I had a lot of fun doing that. Really nice guy, super professional. So I was sitting here thinking of guests back in October. Who would be a good first guest to have here on the Power of Conversation? Instantly, Chris came to mind, and he's very knowledgeable about what he's doing, and he's very passionate about it, and I'm just excited for everyone to hear his story. I was excited to hear about his story as well. I already knew a little bit of it coming into it, but there's a lot of stuff that I learned from him that I didn't know that he's done. So very, very interesting conversation. I'm very excited for y'all to listen to it. And yeah, that's the Power of Conversation podcast. That's pretty much what it is in a nutshell. And I hope you enjoyed this interview. Yeah. Welcome everybody to the first episode of the Power of Conversation podcast. I am your host, EVZN. And I'm really excited today to do this podcast. I've been wanting to do this podcast now for a while. And I created this podcast specifically with the goal of having people that are not necessarily known, like work behind the scenes. And this is case in point definitely today with my guest, Christopher Shue. How you doing, bro?
I'm good. Thanks for having me on today.
Of course. And I've known Chris now for a little bit. We actually wound up doing, I think it was like an interview video, something like that back in January. Really, really great work. And he's done some other work as well for the Millersville community, as well as Georgia College, and some other stuff as well. So definitely excited to have you on today, bro, for sure.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited as well.
So yeah, just tell everybody who's watching just a little bit about yourself.
So I'm from Atlanta, specifically the Midtown area. Kind of got my way into making videos through soccer, actually. So
really?
I'm a soccer player.
Okay.
And I started off making soccer trick shots, and that kind of progressed into what I do now, which is just making videos.
Yeah.
So that's something that...
Yeah, for sure. You spoke about like your soccer trick shots.
Right.
Obviously, you did that like throughout high school, or was like early year?
I think it started about sophomore year of high school. I don't know what year that is, and I kind of did it up to senior year of high school, and then it slowed down once I started college.
Did you ever like blow up off of that? Like I thought you like blew up off.
I had. All right, so I remember one time. When I was back in high school, there's this soccer page called Footy Memes. I don't know if you've heard of 433. It's like a big soccer page on Instagram. Anyways, they reposted one of my videos. I remember being so hyped about it at the time. They had a huge following. Yeah. But nothing ever blew up. Unfortunately, yeah.
So you said you stopped around senior year of high school.
Yeah.
So after high school, obviously we were here, Georgia College, recording this in Millersville. So why'd you choose GCSU?
So when I came to tour Georgia College, this was probably my senior year of high school. I think it was no, it was not the springtime. It was early in the fall. And I just kind of liked the campus and everything. The people seemed great. Teachers seemed great as well. But at the time, I had no clue what I wanted to do. So I came in undecided. I wasn't always mass comm major. It wasn't until I found out really what mass comm does. Yeah, I realized, that's exactly what I want to do.
Right, for sure.
But yeah, so I just liked everything when I came visited. Yeah. Seemed like a great school, and I'm glad.
Yeah, totally. Like, I felt the same way. Like, my family has been to this school. Both my cousins, my mom went here. My dad actually works here now. But, like, it was the same sense, and, like, I came here basically it was this family school, but I liked everything that I saw. But I didn't know what I wanted to do. I was business undecided technically, but I didn't know anything about like the mass comm department. And then when my buddy Carter told me about it, I was like, wait, why am I not in this? Like, so that's kind of wild that we have the same story in that regards.
Yeah, it was kind of interesting. I came here knowing nobody really. There's only like 2 people from my high school that go here. I come from a small high school, but just coming to a new area, new people, that was really a great thing for me because my high school is small. Coming from Georgia College is pretty small, but it's a lot bigger than what I was coming from.
Oh, totally. Yeah, it's same here. Like, what high school did you go to?
I went to Paideia. It's in Ponce de Leon. It's on that road. It kind of like takes up the whole block.
I got you. Yeah, like I'm from Monticello, Jasper County. Right. 30 minutes away. Kind of, so that was more of like a small town feel, but like I guess we relate also like with the small high school too, because my graduating class was like 150. Like I think.
Yeah, I was like around 150.
Around 150. Yeah. Cool. So let's get into let's transition over to Shue Media. That's your company, obviously. Yeah. You offer a wide variety of services. Just go in depth about like what you offer and what you do.
Yeah, so Shue Media is a company that started up about it's been a little over a year now. And it's just pretty much where I share all of my content with anybody that wants to view it, and I'll take on pretty much any job related to photography, videography. It's where I like to post my creative work, share what I like to do. A lot of it's just for fun, and then I also have some more serious stuff that I've worked with clients.
Right.
Right now I'm working for an on-campus department, the Give Center.
Okay.
So I'll be pushing out some content there, but they also post that stuff.
That's good.
Good. But yeah, I love just making videos. My favorite part about it is you just start with an idea. You know this as well.
Yeah, right, totally.
You just start with an idea, and then through your editing skills and videography skills, you can just tell a story or share a feeling or a vibe with somebody, and that's my favorite part about it.
Yeah, for sure. Like I feel the same way about that. Like telling a story and like even like coming up with an idea and like seeing it come to life. I mean, it's just wild to me that like it's possible, you know?
Yeah, I know.
But
really, you can do anything you want. You can share whatever through the power of
video. What would be? I mean, I know it's like kind of hard to pick. Like, what's your favorite thing to do? Like, obviously, mine would of course be music videos. It's just what I do. But what's like your favorite realm, I guess, when it comes to like either photography or videography?
So definitely just capturing a moment and being able to tell a story and share the feelings of a story with the viewer. So going on an adventure with friends, whether it be something like that, and just really being able to capture that feeling for myself, and as well, because obviously when I view it back, I was there in the moment, but I want to be able to share that feeling with other people. So videos like that, there's a lot that I have coming on the way.
That's good. I'm excited.
Especially over break, if you guys stay on the lookout. Each week I plan to be posting a video.
All right.
Almost like a short vlog, but it's going to be concentrating on just like the editing. I want the best production going into these videos. So once a week I'll be posting them out.
All right, man. I'm excited about that because like I've known you obviously since January, but like a lot of people who don't like know already, I've been doing this for a minute, but I'm always like looking to learn, and you're definitely like one of the guys that has just been there for me as far as like learning cinematography, even some editing stuff as well. So like this is definitely, I don't want to say like, well, I guess I can say like a mastermind behind EVZN TV, but unofficially, of course, but yeah. So one thing also that I know that we share in common is two of our biggest influences, particularly Mac Miller and Cole Bennett. Those are two of our like mutual big influences. So just speak about how each one of them has impacted you and your creative journey.
So for Mac Miller, like I think what I have in common is, well, he tells his stories through his songs and his music. That's his way. And mine is through videos, so and just seeing his stories and whatnot, that's just kind of carried over to me as an influence when it comes to making videos. And then Cole Bennett, he's always putting out bangers after bangers. His content's always great, but he started from nothing, just on his own, and he made his way for himself. So that's something that's special and very inspiring from him.
Yeah, totally. Like I don't like. Particularly speaking with Cole, like I know that he came from basically like a small town. He was making videos for like $20 or whatever, and he built that from the ground up. And I know like I don't know how many people like realize the importance of what Cole Bennett really did as far as like what he did for music videos, I guess the Chicago hip hop scene in general, but even the hip hop scene just all around like.
He's worked with some really great people early on in their careers as well. But I just love his work. I mean, he can do any type of video. That's the thing. His range is huge. He can't, you know what I mean? Some people just edit one certain way.
Yeah.
He knows how to edit in multiple different ways. So each video he introduces something new.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And that's key.
It's
Like
great.
I feel like with me, like I'm still trying to, learn that way as well. Like do you feel kind of like the same way? Or
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely, but like I think with him, he has a distinct style throughout every video, so
Yeah.
it's a Cole Bennett video, even though there's so many differences within each
totally.
video, which is something that I definitely I'm trying to work on, keeping like an overall theme
Oh,
type
yeah.
thing.
Totally.
But yeah, that's a difficult thing to do, I think.
Totally. And like one thing also, like his run and gun style too. That's kind of crazy. It's something obviously I think we're still both in that process because I know we probably both don't get big budgets. I know I don't get big budgets.
No.
So I mean,
I'm normally shoot with no budget at all.
What do you normally like shoot with?
So equipment wise?
Yeah, equipment wise, yeah.
So I pretty much majority of my videos were shot on a 70D.
Okay.
Yeah. So I had a 70D for a while, and then I upgraded this summer to Panasonic GH5.
That's nice.
So that's what I'm shooting on now.
That's nice.
And then I have a gimbal that I use. So that's how I get that silky smooth footage.
There
now
you
that guys
go.
see.
Yeah.
Stepping up the quality a little bit.
Yeah, and that's one thing
That's what
too.
we're working on.
Oh yeah, it's like always evolving your craft. Like
Yeah.
totally.
It's an investment. Small steps along the way.
For sure. So, like, going back, I guess I know we're kind of like going a little over the place, but as far as like the rap scene, I know we're both into the hip hop scene. Is there anybody in particular that's like catching your eye right now?
Ooh. I haven't really stayed up on top of it much recently, but let me think.
Kind of a difficult question, but that's what
That one put me on the spot.
I was about to say.
there.
But those are the type of questions we like to ask here at the Power of Conversation.
Okay.
Of course,
okay. Kid Lowry.
Yeah, Leroy.
Yeah,
for sure.
He's coming up for sure.
Yeah, I like Leroy a lot. Put out a new song recently.
Cole Bennett just did his last video too, so.
That's right. So done.
Yeah, so done.
Yeah.
That was a well done video.
Yeah, I think like mine would definitely. Snot is like
Nah.
He's done some work with Cole as well, but I've known about him for a minute.
I've been out of the scene for
You've
a
been
while.
out of it. Well, who are some of your like favorite rappers, like just in general?
Oh, in general, J. Cole, Kendrick.
Yeah.
Those are definitely some people that I listen to a lot.
Hey, this is EVZN, host of the Power of Conversation podcast. I'd like to take this time today to thank our sponsor, EVZN TV. That's right, this podcast is self-sponsored because this is a brand new podcast. But I'd like to take this time to talk about some of the other new stuff coming soon as well. That's right, I'm talking about EVZN TV merchandise. Now, I've been wanting to make clothes ever since this channel was created back in 2018, but I'm very excited to announce that coming this December, we will have EVZN TV merchandise. 3 new pieces, a black logo shirt, a white logo shirt, and even EVZN TV beanies. For more information on when this is dropping, follow EVZN TV on Instagram as well as subscribing to the channel that you're listening to right now. Now, back to the episode. So how, I know obviously the pandemic hit. Right. It hit back in March. How has that personally impacted you?
Oh, personally, so when that hit, it was pretty rough. So my grandparents live across the street.
Right.
And our family helps take care of them, so I had to be extra careful about everything.
Oh, yeah.
Because obviously I was put at a high risk, or I was with people who were at high risk. So I spent a lot of time to myself, with my family, which was great.
Right.
I actually got into biking. I started biking a lot around Atlanta, but
nice.
I tried to just work on taking pictures, bettering myself. Took some videos. Didn't put out a lot. I didn't put out as much content as I wish I had.
Right.
That's why I'm setting that as a goal for me for this January, December break
totally.
to have once a week just a video out.
Totally. I felt like me personally, the pandemic was sort of like a reset button. Obviously, I was living the college life. I was only a freshman last year, and then they told us we had to go home and all this stuff. So went home, kind of reassessed what I was doing, and I was full speed forward when I'm not saying the pandemic's really eased up any, but like I guess due to certain restrictions, we were able to get out and like make more content now than we were say back in April or March. But that's kind of like how I felt about it. Do you feel kind of the same way?
Yeah, definitely similar. Definitely in parts of it. Yeah, I mean, for you as a freshman going home, it's a bit different.
Yeah.
Yeah, it cut your year short, but it's kind of that way for everybody. Even the start of this year has been way different.
For sure. So I guess just kind of my last question here as we're kind of wrapping things up. Obviously, as a director, any really artist of sort, we all go through creative blocks. We all go through hardships. So, like, speaking on that, how do you let, like, the creative blocks, how do you let them, like, affect you? And, like, how do you respond to it?
Yeah, so in times like that, I really just spend a lot of time. I'm always thinking of new ideas, always thinking of things, whether it be good things or bad things, always thoughts racing through my mind. But sometimes when I calm down or I really concentrate, I can put these thoughts together, and that's where some of my best ideas come from.
Yeah, totally.
Pieces that you work on, I think. So I think just finding the little bit of positive in everything, and that kind of helps you settle, and then just putting your thoughts and everything together.
Yeah, for sure. That's hard right there, for sure. I feel like a lot of people can, even myself, like at times I could use that advice because, like, I could be going through a creative block of sorts, and I'm like, oh, I don't know where to go next. But always keeping positive.
Right,
like,
and also sometimes
mindset.
like taking a step back, because sometimes just overload or the stress or whatever is putting you in those types of situations. So just being able to take a step back and calm down, just realize, hey, look, it's not as big as I think it is, or if there's an issue, and that helps me a lot.
Yeah, for sure. Word. So anything you want to plug real quick? Just any.
Yeah, so everybody go follow Shue Media on Instagram. Stay up to date there. There's gonna be a lot of great content coming out there soon. So yeah, keep your eyes out there.
Yeah, definitely. The link will be in the description if you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, or if you're watching here on EVZN TV, that will also be in the, I guess, what you call the description. I don't even know.
Yeah.
For someone who's like has been on YouTube forever, I can't ever describe anything right. But yeah, bro, the Powers Conversation, the debut episode. Here with Christopher Shue, and that's a wrap.
Appreciate it, man.
Hey, of course, bro. Thanks for coming on. Word. Thank you for listening to The Power of Conversation. If you like what you heard, give this video a thumbs up. Or if you're listening to us on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts, be sure to give us a positive rate and subscribe. Once again, thank you for listening to The Power Conversation, an EVZN TV production. We'll see you next time.